Hello everyone, my name is Denise and I'm a counselor. Okay, but today the topic is going to be more to do with the Catholic faith, and it's going to be a bit out of this world. Okay, so I will please bear with me. Okay, the background has changed because I switched rooms, study rooms with my husband in preparation for the baby room. So this is not the final product. Be prepared for the background to change a little more in the coming months. Okay, so on to the topic. Okay, I wonder if any of you know what this thing is, Omakase. So I really don't know what it is, but I heard from my clients it's some kind of Japanese fine dining. Okay, they will prepare the food in front of you, and based on whatever ingredients they get that day. I found it, I saw it on chef's table, and I also heard it from my clients. Okay, so my clients said that after you have tried Omakase, you'll never be able to survive with cold storage sushi anymore, something like that. So anyway, I was celebrating my 10-year anniversary, so I told my husband, shall we try this mysterious thing called Omakase? So we went. That was on December, in the mid of December. So when I went through that experience of Omakase, I had a lot of insights. It was quite amazing, so I'm going to share some of them with you today. Okay, so basically it is a counter seat, and there'll be two Japanese chefs cooking for you, and you don't know what is the menu beforehand. Just based on whatever good ingredients they get, they will prepare it for you that day on the spot. And when they make the sushi, for example, there are many courses. Not all of them are sushi, but the sushi course is quite amazing. He will really squeeze a small ball of rice and then put a piece of fish, usually marinated, with a lot of care. Okay, and he'll prepare all the ingredients in front of you. So he'll make that sushi, put it right in front of you, and you eat it. Once you put it on your plate, then he'll make for your other friend or make for the other guests there. So it was almost a very religious experience for me because of all the amount of love and care that's put into treating the ingredients. I've never had that much so-called attention put into creating a meal for me before, right in front of my eyes. So it was like, I told my husband, oh gosh, dear, I'm so sorry that I feel like I've shortchanged you all my life, because when I cook, right, I basically just anyhow chop the vegetables and just cook, okay, roughly the right time. The amount of, perfectionism and care taken to create a meal for my husband is really far lacking from what the Omakase chef was creating for me. So I've tried other good food, like went for restaurant food before, but it's very different from this. It's so-called like all my outside dining experiences in this category, okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, they've always been in this category. But after you try Omakase, it's like somewhere around here, or it's out of the ballpark, not even with my original scale. It's just so mind-blowing. So as I was eating it, I was like putting my full attention on the chef and seeing what he's doing, how he's like cutting the fish so carefully. So one of the dishes actually, like, they will take the charcoal and sear the top, and then the fish actually tastes like charcoal. It's pretty awesome. So anyway, I was watching all of that very carefully. It's quite expensive. No, each person, I think it's a couple of $100. So it's just like a very special meal that you eat like maybe once in 10 years kind of meal. So there was, I think, sitting for about 8 people. So beside me was 3 colleagues, male, female. And I was like, I was wondering, like, who is going to be rich enough to eat Omakase, like just for like a lunchtime kind of a meal, not a special meal, but a lunchtime meal. And the 3 of them, they came in very relaxed way, and in a way lacking of reverence for the chef's efforts. So they're just talking about their workplace stuff and their workplace politics enough, okay, and talking quite loudly. So very immersed in the conversation, so not really watching the chef. And so when the chef is like, this is yellowtail sushi, something like that, he'll try to speak, although he's Japanese, he'll try to speak in English. So she was actually in the middle of complaining about something and saying expletives, Then the chef was trying to tell her, this is a yellowtail sushi. It was like, gosh, man, I was thinking, you pay so many hundreds of dollars to eat this meal, and you're not even paying enough attention and giving it the respect it deserves. And like, how often do you have to eat Omakase for you to start to degrade it like that, So there's part of me that's of course very judgmental. I admit I'm judgmental, but there's also a part of me that really just genuinely pity her, and also another part of me that thought that, okay, when you go and eat omakase, make sure you go with the correct person, a person who also likes the food, also appreciates it to the same extent, and who can really devote the full attention to that meal. Then you will not be wasting the chef's effort and the delicious ingredients. Okay? So, okay, anyway, but at the end of it, I was thinking also about the Eucharist. This is quite interesting because when you go for Mass, right, especially for Catholic Mass, it is a Eucharistic celebration. So, okay, for the Protestants here, I'll just tell you a bit. It starts with the liturgy of the Word and the liturgy of the Eucharist. But the highlight, the summit and the core of the whole Mass is actually based on the Eucharist, which is the true presence of Jesus, right, in the host that we will receive at the very end in the Eucharist. So if you want to compare it to Omakase, the second part, the liturgy of the Eucharist, is precisely that. The chef is like so-called cooking up putting all the right ingredients and making the Eucharist the real body and blood of Christ. And for me, attending Mass like every Sunday, I just become like that lady beside me at Omakase like that. She's just so distracted, and she can even curse and eat the sushi in such an irreverent way. Or maybe don't even finish the food that's given to her because she's really so full. And that's exactly how I do. I behave during the Eucharist. So it's so strange how eating omakase can actually make you feel guilty about how irreverent I am like right now receiving the Eucharist. And I was thinking, you see, I pay hundreds of dollars just to receive that kind of care and love and quality of food, which nourishes my body in terms of my physical body. But every Sunday I go to church, it's free. In a way, I don't have to pay hundreds of dollars. It's really just literally free. You can walk into church, and if you are baptized Catholic, if you go for confession, you can go and receive the Eucharist, which will help you to strengthen your soul. It's the food of divinity to help you to live a good life. And that's so much more precious. But yes, the church offers it for free. Of course, it's not free, Jesus had to die on the cross and all that. It's a very expensive meal that we do every time we go for Mass. But, and it is of infinitely more greater dignity than the omakase, for example. But the church and God offers it so freely. Okay, I'm going to go on a stretch. I wonder if any of y'all like xianxia, this genre of Chinese fantasy, like classical fantasy. That means it's set not only like a couple of 100 years ago in terms of like ancient fashion, but it's an element of fairies and demons and all that. So xianxia, there's this one called Ashes of Love. Like every single time, like one of the gods or deities fall in love with a woman, he'll give a small part of himself. Like if you're a dragon, you give a special kind of dragon skill. This is one special skill that I use, that I have, that maybe like they call it the special skill that guards my heart. I'm plucking it out, I give it to you. This is to protect you. So even when I'm not with you, it's going to be here to protect you. So this is captured in this kind of xianxia, classical Chinese mythology as well, about how the beloved gives the lover gives his beloved a very special part of himself. And that's a very precious gift. There's only one of it. They can only give to one person and no one else. Okay? Yeah, and that hint at monogamy again. So it's the same thing. When Christ gives us his body and blood, it's the same kind of precious gift that he gives to his church. So we as a church, which is considered a unity, receives this one gift of God's body and blood, right? Jesus' body and blood. I think I read somewhere that's like a heart tissue of his broken heart at the cross that we can eat every Sunday, or if you want to attend Mass every single day. So it is of infinite more dignity than the omakase chef. Because the omakase chef might be doing it with a lot of care and love and perfection and skill that he trained over the last 20 years. But he can't do what a priest does, which is to turn this regular little piece of bread and wine into body and blood. That requires a special transcendent kind of power, supernatural power to transform. So all the more we should pay attention to Mass and the Eucharist. Okay, I guess this is kind of boring. And especially after such a long time, right? Like I did make videos for months, and then I come back with this video, so it might irritate you. But okay, following this, there might be other ideas to do with psychology and counseling, which I will get to you. But in the meantime, I hope that you enjoy this video, because it's been brewing in my mind for a couple of weeks already. So Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Have a wonderful 2024 ahead. Thank you so much, everyone, and God bless.